Hi, it's Lynn, your adulting coach. When we're unhappy with something our autistic graduate did or didn't do, when we're just not in harmony with them, what can we do to get back to that state of connection? We all go through these three places in our relationships. We're in disharmony, we talk about things and repair them, and we go back to connection. But what are the steps? How do we do this? The first thing we do before we take any steps is we remember that we love this person, this graduate, is the sun and the moon and the stars. We love them all the way down to their toes, and we really want to see, we want to flourish with them together. We want a strong connection. If we're not there, if we're kind of in that agitated state where the ticker tape parade in our head is complaints about them and worry about the future, the catastrophes that are so likely to occur, let's just take a break before we get started. Walk around the block, have a cup of tea, work out, whatever it is to get ourselves back to our heart center. And then we approach them and say, hey, there's something on my mind I want to share with you. Is now a good time? So we invite. And if it's not a good time for them, fine. We ask them again at another time, or we ask them, would this afternoon in our walk that we take together every afternoon, would that be a good time? Yes, okay. But let's make sure that we negotiate a good time when we're both in that heart-centered space. Then the first step, we present the facts. We say, hey, the garbage cans went out having on Sunday, but they stayed at the end of the driveway until Wednesday, and I had to remind you to bring them in. I don't like having, then, so what? These are my thoughts. I don't like to have to do that. I don't want to have to remind you to do, that simple chore. And if you look out the window, if you're at the kitchen sink, which I know you've been because you're making your food, you can see them at the end of the driveway. Let's get them into the house. They're part of the process that I use to, throw garbage out and do the recycling. They can't sit at the end of the driveway for days. So that's my thoughts. That's the story that I'm making up about it. And that makes me feel, what are the emotions? That makes me feel so disappointed. This is something you've done for a while now, and I feel like we're falling back into bad habits. And it really makes me worry about when you're living with other people, when you're on your own someday. Are they going to be able to rely on you to do your part, to give your part to the team, in our case, to give your part to the family? I worry about that a lot. So then the fourth step is, okay, here's what you want to see, and you want to have this part prepared. So what I really want to see happen is for the garbage to go out on Sunday and come back on Monday, by the end of the day, without a reminder. And we state clearly exactly the behaviors that we want to see. It's not a negotiation. It's, I want the garbage out on Sunday by 9:00. I want the cans, the totes of the cans back in by the end of the day, before 5:00, and I don't want to have to remind you. All right, we've been very specific, and now what? We talk about how that's going to go, and we reflect, and we hear their concerns. We say, yes, and I really want these three things. I mean, we may have to reassert several times in the conversation, but it's simple. It's those three things. Garbage out on Sunday, back in the garage by 5 on Tuesday, without reminders. Now we know what that result is. All right, so let's say you had this conversation and everything went well. You complained constructively so that you can respectfully create a solution, a resolution for both of you. But, good for you. Good for you. And I promised you the epilogue. Here's the epilogue. Okay, Sunday came up. The garbage went out fine. You didn't have to remind them. It was before the 9 o'clock. And then Monday, they stayed there. And they were still there on Tuesday. And you said, hey, the garbage cans are still at the end of the driveway. And it's Tuesday. So you made a statement of the fact, and they were grouchy, and they didn't want to hear about it, and they stormed off to their room and slammed the door. Good day for you, not such a good day for your graduate. Here's what to keep in mind. You did your best. I mean, we do what we hope will work, and we keep experimenting until we figure it out. I've found this 5-step process really works for me and for my family, and I'm teaching it to them so they can tell me what bothers them about what I do. Constructive complaining works both ways. I think it's a great approach. I would love to hear your thoughts. Please drop a comment in under this video, and if you like what you're hearing, subscribe to my channel. Bye for now.